Look at us live.
These fancy new boxes.
Oh, fancy boxes. Just poking everybody. Fancy boxes. Fancy boxes.
Ugh.
Hello, everyone. So
Hey,
nice
hello.
to be
How are you doing?
here.
Come on in.
Welcome
Ginger,
back, Em and
chatWater.
Sean. It's been a while since we've had
thanks
you
so
guys
much for
here.
having us back,
I'm quite.
Giannis.
Well, I say you've updated the place,
Yes.
but
Yes.
Yeah, I was
It's,
gonna
it feels
say,
like we're in a new
Yanis.
space.
We got candles in the background.
I know. We got this little
Ooh.
flicker,
such ambiance.
Mm-hmm.
I love
I need to get a print of the new art for there. Replace all of this.
Yeah.
And some of
Yeah.
our stuff.
Yeah.
I'd swap out my background, but I use it for auditions, so I can't put anything fun on it. It's
We'll
a blue void.
get you a green screen.
Oh.
No,
No,
Sean
Sean would be
but
too dangerous.
welcome to chatwater. Oh wait, shit. I forget how we do this one. Do
You're
we talk
fine.
about bullshit, then run the
intro is
thing?
usually like 30 or 40 minutes.
We talk
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
previous stream, and then
That's right.
we do our intro, and then I do announcements, and then we get into the past content.
That's right. Let's talk about last stream, because my God, was it a doozer?
I mean, we have to start with the fact that Finnan is leaving.
He is.
I mean, it's it's pretty wild. It was a beautiful goodbye.
Yeah, and I think
it was
I think that Adam really hit it on the head, talking about that the last time that Finnan was when Finnan said the last time I was gonna leave, I was coming from this out of a place of anger and frustration, and I'm not doing that now. I'm doing this from a place of the heart, and because it's right, and because I need to spend time with these people. These are my people now. I feel a call to them, and I know from myself as Neppy was like, I understand. You said the word, you felt called. I get that entirely.
Well, it actually felt really reminiscent of Callie, with the simplicity of I'm not angry anymore.
Yes.
And I really, because I could see a reality in which maybe Melora was like, nah, you got to be an angry paladin, and she's like, well, then I'm just not going to be a paladin anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming to these decisions where it's this is where I need to be. I know this in here. Mm-hmm. We love it.
And I think there's also I think it shows a lot of growth in Finnan, that he has the trust to know that there is a space with him at Blackwater, forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just we're gonna move on from him, because I think that there was a sense for, or if his I'm obviously just theorizing, but I could see that there was a sense that Finnan was just no, I don't need to be here. I don't follow you. I don't fit here. But
well, yeah.
Now it's there's trust that no, these are my family. These are my people.
Well, it really came to a head with the whole Golar Magrin situation, where we came to a decision, and it was most of us and Finnan, and he was like, I don't know where I fit, and so coming back from there, I guess that's been the last, because that was the money hole. That was just
that was
this
the
fucking
grinding.
arc. Yeah. Ooh, what a lovely little.
Yeah, it was very much like him making the opposite decision as Magrin. Whereas Magrin, he was at any cost, do what you need to do. And this time he's like, you know what? I need to foster these relationships. I need to take care of these people and help them, and really take responsibility for his position, sort of as an emissary of, I guess, Unity now, I think.
Unity.
Yeah.
Because I guess we also haven't really had a chatwater since we've had the previous episode with the stuff with Rysel. We haven't even talked about that.
True.
I know Yanis and Tim talked about that, but Sean and I haven't.
Oh my God. Yeah, that whole
So
fucking.
My God. So much to unpack.
Also, I mean, do we also have to unpack the Fireside Chat? Because that was just the biggest piece of lovely.
I know. We can unpack it all. This could be a whole episode just to that. We will get to the early days at some point, but we have time.
Next week, I guess.
We have time.
How lovely was that moment with the dude. I think that is honestly, it's one of my favorite moments, I think, of the show, of everything of the show, that moment. And I think I talked about it. We talked about it briefly in the Fireside Chat, but Tim's not revealing the reply right away was such a beautiful cinematic touch.
My
because I could
heart
see him.
simultaneously broke and then swelled
Yeah,
again.
I could
Yeah.
see Finnan, or I mean, sorry, I could see Letters be like, wait for that reply, and then sort of be like, oh, he is gone, and then take those steps and then get the reply was just
Well,
so good.
here's the thing, because like I saw him become Unity or whatever, so I'm like, a very little chance the ring is there, and if it's like that's not how the ring works. He's only in there if he died and went into it. So like I was just like, I like that, like the whole even the build up to that, where I'm like, I just didn't want. It was like my thing. And I was like, "Hey, can you like buff me for intelligence so I can like impress this lady?" That's not what that's about. I just wanted to like max out my investigation so I could be sure if it was there, it was there, and if it wasn't, it wasn't. And then I was like, I just have to check. I just have to know. And so when it wasn't it, I was like, okay, you know, I guess he's in a better place. And then fucking hits me with the dude. I was like, like. You ever see that video of like the dog where they drop the tennis ball and it's like excited and then they drop like 100 tennis balls and they're just like that was me with the feelings. It was like, what are we even?
That whole episode was so good, and one of the things I really loved about not last episode but the episode before was the fact that you wrapped up like a huge story arc in the first half of the show.
Yeah, never
and
happened. And it didn't end in a fight.
And it didn't end in a fight, but just the fact that it wrapped up in the first half of the show, and then we had the other half to like decompress.
Yeah.
To let the characters breathe for a second, because usually it's like the group solves a problem or an issue, and then it's immediately on to the next one.
Yeah.
And this was like a moment of like, kick our shoes off. Let's get comfortable. Let's have a couple drinks.
A couple trips.
A couple trips. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see the mushroom brew coming. It was a great touch.
Like that was fucking Tim. Like you know, he's like, oh yeah, he went to the Rusty Hole, and like down the line, he's like, it's mushroom beer, and then he must have been like, I bet it was like 40 minutes into us fucking around, he went, mushroom beer, like.
I don't know. I think Tim knew what he was doing.
Well, I would be curious to ask Tim how far along that tavern, like, because I'm wondering, did he prep the grungiest tavern in town, or I feel like that was a on the spot situation.
I feel like
I think
Tim
that was just
always in his brain hole always has a grungy tavern because he knows Callie loves a dive bar. He knows Callie needs a dive. Like every town we're in where we go to a bar, Callie goes to a dive. Like just a grungy, dirty dive bar.
Yes, he can predict that at this point.
We're pretty predictable. He's been playing with us. And also, we've been playing this campaign now officially for 3 years. As of January 1st, it was 3 years. Or guess December 31st. It was 3 fucking years we've been playing this campaign.
Holy cats.
I know.
Jeez. Well, yeah, I guess he knows pretty. Yeah, if I ever, look, I'm still on the fence as to like how just the detail. Here's the thing. I don't think he built that tavern like a thing ahead of time. I think he just knows taverns.
Yes.
That's what I'm like. I think that was just a wonderful bit of like DM improv.
Absolutely.
That was some great old Timprov. And all I'm saying, I don't think he decided that the beer was psychotropic until like psychotropic, hallucinogenic. I forget.
Both. Either is fine. Yep.
Both.
Okay, great. Until like weighs in.
And I feel like the shit with Adonis was just like I wondered if there was always like a moment where I was like, oh, we need an Adonis moment. I did not see the Adonis moment coming at all. Like the mandolin, when we first found the mandolin, I was like, something is afoot. Shit's getting weird. This is multiverse shit. Because anytime stuff's talking about not in this universe, I'm like, the multiverse. And then when Adonis showed up, I'm like, confirmed. This is multiverse confirmed. And then, of course, last episode, getting the stuff that just, made Neppy's brain bleed.
So yeah, that legend lore was, I mean, pretty epic.
Yeah, that was the most epic legend lore I've ever done. Yeah. 3 wisdom saves. I had to make 3 or like 4 wisdom saves.
And you rolled your high. Jam. You rolled high,
though. That is my jam, though. That is my jam.
But I mean,
I had Callie next to me.
But still, you rolled so high and you still took so much damage.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I checked in with Tim, like, had I failed some of those rolls, because I was like, what would have happened if I failed some of those rolls? He's like,
You
you
wish wouldn't
wouldn't.
have got the
I
information.
wouldn't. No, and I would have taken more damage. Like,
oh my god.
I succeeded all 3, got all the information, and still took 60 damage. That was like base level damage. Yeah, shit. But we know now.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like fucking like this is how it felt to me. Getting that legend of lore. He's like, well done. You know, Tim being like, well done. You've gotten the Rysel arc, very good. There's no other immediate threats on the horizon. You know, Korra's out there in space. That's the thing. Apparently, we weren't supposed to throw that armor in the fire. Whoops. So that's something we got to deal with. You know, we got that other trading company. That's not like a world.
But you guys don't know that.
We don't know about the Hellblade armor.
No, we haven't put that together.
No, that's my brain putting that together. And the Matron of Vengeance is out there, still has her debt
and the Matron of Vengeance, but hasn't called to collect. So it very much felt like, okay, well done. You cast this thing. This is gonna be the level 20 thing. Like,
get ready, we're fucking with gods now.
Yeah, like, no, beyond gods.
Gods
like,
of gods and like.
Yeah. Like reality creators, and it's like, fuck, man. I just want to start a trade war.
It's like it's like the cutscene after, I forget which. It's like the cutscene after one of the Marvel movies where they first introduced Thanos. Mm-hmm. And they're like, it's like a sprinkle of like, by the way, this is where.
Oh yeah. Those who face them like court death.
Yeah.
Oh, smile.
And it's just like too. It's like there are so many little hoops and jumps that we will go through before we get to whatever awaits us on this like
deeply shrouded in mystery.
Deeply shrouded in mystery, and like the names of these people, like the prime symphonist of the Legasis Empire, the Queen Elegansis, ruler of the known. Like, what the how can you be the ruler of all known things? Like,
you just say you are, and no one can take it from it.
It's also one of those great moments where it's like you as players know that this is like crucially important and very large, but your characters don't have much to go on that this is a big deal.
Listening to that is like, wow, what an important artifact.
Cool. What a sweet guitar.
Let's put it in a hole or somewhere. I was literally like, wait.
Go ahead.
Before everyone's like, so we're never playing that. I was like, I know someone who plays the lyre. Hey, let's give it to Arlig. Like, that was where my brain went. Like, let's see what this baby can do. And then everyone's like, so no one plays this ever. And I was like, oh yeah. No one.
This thing fucking rips, bro.
Made of a star. Arlig's gonna fucking love. No, not Arlig. Shale plays the lyre. Yeah. Arlig's the thick one. Shale's got a good head on it.
I mean, it's a mandolin. You keep forgetting what it is, but it's all right.
I feel like Shale plays that. He plays a string instrument.
Yes, a good bard playing a string instrument. I hadn't even like put together, like I had like as I was processing all of this shit about like that when Tim dropped the legend lore stuff about that, I was like, oh my fucking god, my ring that I never attuned to, because it's like it's a great and powerful, amazing item, but like I need my armor. I can't unattune to Death's Shadow because of the Matron of Vengeance, and I'm not gonna unattune to a gun my god gave me. So it's like and now I was thinking about it, I was like, my ring, is it going weird? Is things happening? And then I was like, it's fucking Adonis. And it was nice to have the party put together a little bit of the stuff about Adonis, and I feel like Neppy's gonna be like, right, you locking the store in your shop, you sit down, I'm gonna put this ring in the front. What the fuck is this? You tell me what you want, you do it right now. Why'd you take my memory? If I helped you, why did you take it?
The other thing you have to remember is, like we said, for your characters, it's pretty low on the priority list right now. So like, who knows when that's gonna happen? I mean,
Queen Elegansis isn't here. So
pressing concerns, fucking the fucking retrievers. Oh my god, we got to talk about. Okay, let's split the party and collect clues. Okay, Fred, like. I was gonna be like, no, it's bad. She's like, the city's safe, we can do this. I was like, yes, in this one situation, we can split the party to look for clues. Callie talking to the teenagers, an absolute delight. Yes. I am furious that like Tim and Jen were just like, clearly it's just an excuse to go off and flirt. We're loving that. There was a lot of that in the episode before the last one. Big ups. We love the chicken fight. For them to just take me at my like wink wink thing and be like, let's explore some caves deep. Like let's go an hour and a half into these random caves alone.
Tim is laughing. Tim is laughing as we talk about this.
I just and Jen's like, you told us to. I was like, how literal do like I can't use any subtext? Is your wisdom that low?
I mean,
yes. I guess that's her character. I mean, look, I'm level 9 wisdom. Like, it's fine. I'll just be all. I will learn from this and apply it as a character moving forward. You can't just like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Yana. You just have to say exactly what you mean.
I mean, I loved that they went off together, and there was the moment where it was just like, you know, when you offered to like, Clack, do you want to go with Yana? And I was just like, yes, so sly. And that's like, I like Neppy offered the high five, grapple boy high five. And then I was like, and then the second when the retriever came out, I was like, oh no, one of them or both of them's gonna go.
When Tim said it has 200 plus HP and Yana's like, incinerate, I was like, oh no. Like, you could let that spell run its course for the full minute, get all the damage, and that spider would be fine. Like, or maybe, I don't know, it'd be close, but I was just like, there's no winning this fucking fight.
Tim just dropped some like beautiful, like, oh, sweet flirty breadcrumbs death.
I mean, they went into a cave alone, deep. You don't dig greedily and dig deep. You just don't learn that.
One of the best parts is that like Clack was like, this is totally safe. There's no way that a cave can be bad. Like Tim literally was like, there's no way this can be bad. Like, I know he's speaking as Clack and he plays the character to the character's abilities, but at the same time, it's coming from the voice of the DM, and he's like, no, this is totally safe.
Clack knows caves, you know.
Clack knows caves. Only one way. Anybody. I think his words were, there is only one way in. So how bad can it be?
Well, to be fair, Clack is used to identifying like living spiders that have to get places.
Yes.
I'm sure if there was any indication that cave was like lived in by dangers that weren't like fucking magical things from Wild Wild West, then like Clack would have been on it.
Nice throwback. Thank you very much.
Yeah, great
Mechanical
reference.
Spider, Letters isn't aware of it, so I couldn't reference it on the day, but I was like, how do I reference Jim West and like Colonel Lovelace into this situation? You can't. But like, damn. Like, I'm sure it would have been fun, but like, fuck, man, if I can spider.
When I was thinking, and you know, I think Adam might have popped it up in our like Zoom chat at the time. I don't know if he sent it to all of us or just to me.
Oh, the banishment?
Well, not that, but if Yana got taken, Finnan would be like, well, I'm coming with you.
Yeah, that's another thing I was thinking of, like, oh man, like, oh man.
I know,
we did the beautiful goodbye, and like, just as I get out there, tearing me back in.
Yeah, no, I just like, it felt very much to me, and we'll talk about the chatwater, we'll get there when we talk to the Feywild arc, where Neppy fought the Bone Devil on her own. And it was like a moment, like, chatwater, we'll get there. And we'll, like, I had that moment, I was like, oh my god, this thing is gonna wreck both of them. But then Clack coming through again with the Staff of Wonder, just like allowing him just to escape. And also that sweet, sweet, chivalrous boy standing in front of Yana with his staff. Just
I mean, like, he's part of Blackwater. That's what we do.
That's truly. Hit me first.
Forget combat strategy and prioritizing like someone's prowess over another. If it's your turn, you get in front of everybody else to take that damage.
Also, Jen,
regardless of the situation.
Jen's in chat right now. Hello, Jen. Thank you for being here. And made a really great point. The spell banishment requires an object that repulses the creature.
Oh, so, that's Jen being a better player than me.
That's Jen being a really good.
She's so smart.
That's being a Jen really good wizard who knows her spells.
Guys, Yana's the better wizard. Like, this is the thing. Like, Okay, I guess that wasn't in doubt to anyone.
Oh no, sorry. Oh no, Sean.
No, Sean.
No, definitely not.
I didn't expect you to nod so sagely, like, yes, we came to this understanding a long time ago.
Sorry for burning you. But no, I mean, like,
the truth hurts sometimes.
but I think like, letters. It's interesting, like the way I conceptualize letters as a player, or I see him more of a like fighting wizard, which for me in my brain is like, I know it's not because wizards are so versatile, but I see Yana as like book wizard.
Well,
Which
even
is,
statistically, she's
yes,
got 20 intelligence, and I like that Letters is an 18 intelligence
I
wizard.
love that. I love
He
that.
has more strength and constitution than he has intelligence, and like we've got a feat, at next level we can, 6 years from now when we get there, we can up those stats. Spoiler alert,
when we level up
it's
again.
it's not going into intelligence. Like he's going to be an 18 int for life, unless he finds one of those magic headbands or something, it's not going up.
Yes. Also, Jen also says that she'll fight you on so I think about not being the better wizard or being the better, I don't know, she'll fight you on something. But they'll be fighting what's happening, so it's fine.
If Yana wants to fight Letters, that's going to go one of two ways.
Woof. She'll just banish you. Like she'd banish you back.
No, that's where I fucking kill it. Is like Letters rocks at the saving throws.
That's true.
I mean, Yanis, I know you can't tell me, but I do want to ask so bad what happened when Callie rolled insight on Clack and we all had to take our little headphonies out.
I haven't gotten to that part in my lore keeping yet, so I don't even know.
Well, you can't listen to that part, Em.
It's got to be in the lore.
No. That's just the Callie thing. I mean, Lore Club, I guess, if there's anything pertinent, they'll keep track of it. But I feel like you, Em, you can't know that.
I'm glad you asked that, Sean, because I was literally going to bring it up. And now you've reminded me that you guys don't know what it was.
Oh, I anti-spoiled myself.
Yeah, because I was literally going to be like, hey, wasn't it crazy about Clack? And then you were like, oh, it was weird, that part. And I was like, oh, that's right. You guys don't know. Yeah, it's another one of those things that Tim sometimes puts in where I'm like, it's probably nothing. It could be something. And if it's something, it could be bad, but it could be nothing.
I'm terrified.
It's probably nothing. It could be something.
I feel like he's just spurring,
it's probably nothing.
I think he's just spurring the feud between my dad and his mom about whether Clack is the BBEG or not. I think that's what he's doing, but maybe that's just my theories.
Oh my God, what? I mean, this is one thing that I find very satisfying about being a low wisdom character is Sean Deppner, am pretty bad at putting the pieces together. And like, if I was like a monk or something, just like really wisdom, like I'm intuitive and I can figure things out. Tim just throws all these information out. I'm like, I felt very clever when I remembered that the ring came from Adonis.
Yes.
Like, that's probably not super relevant to the story. Like, but like maybe it was. I don't know. How did he get Rysel? Did he know Rysel was in that ring? Maybe.
Tim is just snickering to himself in the background. Jeez.
Anywho,
I think that's one of the joys of this campaign is that like I've been playing this campaign for 3 years with this party and seen everything, been at every session. There's never been anything I missed, and I still get surprised. There are still some moments where I'm like, what? Because I remember, Yanis, a little while ago, you were talking about too, being like, yeah, this could be like the end of a campaign. Like this arc or these arcs kind of leading up could be the end of the campaign. And then Tim is just like, here, you're welcome. And we're just like, phew. It's wild.
Yeah. The ramifications of the things that you guys are touching on now are huge.
Terrifyingly huge.
Also, speaking of touching things, I'm just not thrilled to be going out on the ice again. Like, I think we all felt, we're like, and that's Gar Yang done.
Oh, that's right, Limerick.
Yeah, we have
to
to get Limerick.
He's probably fine. We'll message him. He's probably like, yeah, I'm all done. Help! Oh fuck! Now I gotta go.
You can teleport. We can teleport. We'll teleport to the. We're gonna meet up here, and then we'll take the same car, and like we'll just skip over all of Garyang, and that'll be that. And that is not that.
We're gonna go get your girl. We're gonna go get the Warforged that's there, and we're gonna get the frack out.
You know what this is? You know what this is Tim doing? Tim's being like, "Oh, you skipped over all that other Garyang? Well, it's got to go somewhere. Can't skip over this one."
He's laughing again. I hate it.
Because
you're right. You got it. That's what it means. That's a confirmation.
We should have a live little box of Tim watching
Tim's reaction.
Yeah, just Tim's reaction as we do our little talk show.
Tim Cam. The Tim Cam.
The Tim Cam. Or like we just cut to it every now and then. We have a camera on Tim.
We'll go live to Tim.
We could do that. Well, let's go live to Tim. We can do that in OBS now.
Oh my God.
Live to Tim.
Whoa.
Oh no! What did you do?
You laughed and then the light turned.
I laughed. The light's on. Hold on. Give me a second.
Yanis's laughter really does brighten the room.
Wow.
He didn't get to hear it. That was for him.
I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed it in his stead.
I know. I enjoyed it too. But we can't tell him when he comes back.
No, absolutely not.
No. Hey, Yanis, welcome back.
I have motion sensing lights in this room, and sometimes I don't move enough, and then it forgets I'm in here. And then when I do move, it's like, oh shit, someone's in here.
It is a big tangent, but I genuinely thought I had a ghosty experience once with that situation, because I was in acting school in this very old building. It was like the oldest acting school in America, and like everyone's like, oh, so everyone who worked there was like, oh, fucking haunted, all these ghosts. And so I was like working this monologue, and I was just like sitting in a chair, like thinking stuff to myself, going through the feelings, and like the lights turn off, and I went, oh. Why'd the lights turn off? Like, I know there's a fucking light switch on this wall. That's not motion sensor because there's a light switch. Yeeps. And then I was super still, and I think I started talking to the ghost. I was like, because I'm just like, look, here's the thing. I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm ready to believe in ghosts as soon as I have ghost evidence. And so this was ghost evidence. And so I was like, okay, ghost, I've heard a lot of things about you. You sound pretty chill. I guess you don't want me. It's time for me to go home. You turned out the lights. That's cool. I'm going to get out of here. And I went to get up, and the lights came back on. And I was like, whoa. And like for like a week, I was like, in that room, I was like really testing it. And then I did slowly put together that it was just motion sensors. If you sit long enough, it forgets about you. And I mean, that's the whole story.
It was beautiful and perfect. A perfect insertion of a story.
Thank you.
I have one more lore tidbit to drop before, and I know I've told this to you both, but I haven't shared it with the universe. That I realized as I was listening to the audio for not last session, but the one before. It's now canon in our world that Tasha from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything existed. She existed in our universe. And that she was an Illyrian. So Letters was talking
I don't think Sean was here when you told it. I think it was just me.
You were away. So Letters was talking to Seppenthus about the spell that she gave him, which was Tasha's otherworldly guise. And she said she got it by learning it through communing with the ancestors, and that she expanded upon it, and that she named it based on the ancestor she learned it from.
Oh damn! Because it is called. Did she give it a different name? Someone's transformation? No, it's Tasha's transformation. Oh yeah, because we love her laughter.
Guides. Yeah.
Great, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Tim.
So now, I know, right?
The more you know.
Weaving the world.
Which means that if Tasha exists in our universe, so does the Baba Yaga.
Oh gosh, I don't know that much about Tasha's backstory.
Tasha was the adopted daughter of the Baba Yaga.
Oh no, I don't want to deal with a Baba Yaga. I don't want to deal with a Baba Yaga.
Yeah. Anytime there's a weird old house with chicken feet, you just
fucking. I can never. It's Seppenthus.
Seppenthus, yeah.
Seppenthus. I fucking Serpenthus. There we go.
Serpenthis. Serpenthus.
Okay, that's not what I have written on my thing, but I'll correct that. My little sticky note. Fucking Serpenthus being like, "Do you want to go on a date to hell? just you and me. And I'm like, yes, I do, but we don't split the party. Like,
oh, look at the time.
It's a group date. If it's a date, it's
I
a
was
group
like,
date.
fuck, do I just bring Clack to be like, hey, can you third wheel this? Like, I don't know. I can't not take the date to hell.
I think
but
you
like,
have to go to hell.
But I know she didn't extend that invitation to everybody. Like,
I mean, if I'm to be
really rude.
if I'm to be believing of some of the strings that are and the threads that are left out there, we may all be pulled to hell at some point. We've been to hell. We've been through hell for half of a session. Chatwater will get there. Why we were in hell for half a session, but I mean, like, there is something that is bad about hell that we may have been trifled with that may pull us back there at some point.
We're talking about Von Kron? Or
talking about Kron, and we're talking about Urkin.
Yeah, Urkin's from hell.
Urkin's from hell, and so
Urkin's a hell baby.
Well, Urkin got banished from hell, or exiled, sorry. Exiled from hell.
And you guys sent him back?
No, he left.
No, Urkin just bounced. We did send back those Gooby boys.
Which Gooby boys?
Remember when there was that big banishing spell, and there's those Gooby boys who got in there, and they're like, can you get rid of the thing and we'll leave?
Oh,
like,
yes.
They captured Quack, and we're like, sure, we'll get rid of it. And they're like, yeah, Gooby boys out. And then
we didn't banish them.
No, we allowed them to bounce back to hell.
Yes, but I'm talking more with Baron Von Kron, with the fact that we put his armor in the lava, which leads to the fire plane, probably, and didn't think about that ahead of time, which is bad.
Yeah, but demons take a while to reforge. Like, look, that's a campaign 2 problem.
Baron Von Kron,
that's not us.
Problem.
That's us later.
That's a later Blackwater problem. And
that's like centuries
later Blackwater problems.
That's centuries down the line. Like,
just be the next campaign 2's money hole, you know?
That's exactly what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, oh, we fucking hate Blackwater. Who would be so dumb to put a fucking demon's armor in the lava to the fire plane?
Like, gosh. Should
Not
we roll
so
that intro?
dumb to hang on to those spurs after all.
Should we roll that intro?
I'd love that. Yeah.
Let's roll that intro. Oh my god, I hope this works.
All right, technical goodies. We're back.
New beautiful Chatwater intro as premiered at the Fireside Chat, but welcome to your new Chatwater intro for 2021. We're going to do some announcements.
Let's
announce. And based on the fact that with the way my screens are set up and because I'm running OBS, I can't actually access the announcements. So we're going to just do it strictly from memory.
Oh, you know them. You know them.
So we will see. Okay, so a big thank you to our...
Oh, wait, let's make this into a game.
Okay.
Yanis and I, do we know them at this point? Because I know you can do them from memory. Mm-hmm. We're going to bounce back and forth. And if we get all of them, then we win. And if we forget any, Emma gets to digitally slap us with a stick and correct us. And then we got to jump in.
Around, but yes.
Yeah, well, speaking of sticks, I'll jump in first. Legendcraft, baby, makers of fine wood, nerdy stuff. They did a good Kickstarter. They make health trackers. They make spell trackers. They have a really exciting DM screen coming out where they team up with Tiana, our artist. They're a Canadian company. We love them. Legendcraft, go to their place and get 5% off when you use the code Blackwater, right?
Yes. Fantastic.
Fucking nailed it. Yanis, your turn. What do you got?
Silverwing Armory for all of your paper needs. They come set up for any game that you play, whether it's D&D or other tabletop RPGs. Also a local Canadian company. They make fantastic things. M loves their stuff. For those who take notes, Sean and I, we do not take notes. So, but they are.
I take sticky notes.
Such disappointment from M.
Look, I also have your book that you made me like at the ready when I'm like, I really need to look up
to eventually throw all the Post-its in.
Yes.
No, they stay here.
Use the code Blackwater for. Is it Blackwater or Blackwater D&D?
Just Blackwater.
Blackwater for. This one is different. Is 10%?
Yes, baby, it's 10%. We know that. We love those numbers.
Okay, Sean, you're up.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's cheating, so I'm going to do 2. We got Tiana, our art deity,
Yes.
who does all the vast majority of the character art you've seen of us, and especially all those new level 15 shenanigans, that new teamwork, team shot. It's gorgeous, including the new the fucking never before seen clack. Oh, also all the emotes. We got new emotes. That's a fun thing. And also, speaking of things we use as part of the stream, you got fairy dragon dice, our dice. Sorcerer.
Yes.
I'm trying to come up with new terms to apply them. They make wonderful dice. I roll them anytime I have a really important roll that's not combat related, and sometimes combat related. I roll my fairy dragon dice.
Ooh.
Yanis, what do you got for us?
Oh, I got 1 second. I gotta grab something here.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
Whoa.
Does he have
There's
visual
chords.
aids?
There's chords. He might have visual aids. Oh, dice.
Oh, he's got his.
Show them off. Show them off.
Whoa, what's this? Is this new? I don't know this.
Oh,
This
yeah, you probably haven't seen these.
Is my set of kale dice.
Oh, bring that closer to the camera, baby.
If I can get a good angle here.
Oh, I'm gonna get closer to my camera just to see it.
They're so pretty. They're Petri, which is then like orange and gold and red. They're fucking
They
delightful.
are absolutely fantastic.
Get that BB up on the Instagram.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah, please send us some shots. We'll put it up on the gram.
What do we have left? We've done Legendcraft.
We have.
We've done Silvering Armory. We've done
all our
Tiana.
sponsors and partners.
Announcements.
Schedule.
Schedule.
Oh, I'm cheating.
I don't know the schedule. We have a show this Wednesday. No, we have no show this Wednesday.
You're gonna smack
it was 50-50. But I'm glad we don't, because trying to guess which one of the 3 we have would have been way worse. We don't have a show this Wednesday.
If there was one on Wednesday, I couldn't have told you which one. All I knew that it wasn't.
That's not great, because you're in the Wednesday ones.
Yeah, and it's always a surprise come Tuesday.
But we are back on Saturday for the campaign. We'll see what crazy adventures we get into, and then we're back again next Monday for chatWater.
Hey, Anis, what are we doing Thursday? What are we doing Thursday?
Oh,
yeah.
Adventures of Fenrilik wraps up on Thursday.
Yes.
Thank you.
DM'd by our lovely Sean Deppner. We have M playing in that one, Jen, Lennon, and Matt.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's a party. Come on in.
It might wrap up.
Right?
Is it wrapping up?
Yeah. This is going to be the last one.
This is going to be.
Yes, it is wrapping up, but no, that's not the last.
There's the coffee. There's the coffee. Yes. If you want, I'll just talk about the money ones. Subscriptions, they don't roll over. That's a Twitch thing. If you have a subscription, you're like, that's gonna last forever. It doesn't. You have to do it every month if you so choose. And if you're like, subscription's not for me, but money for Blackwater, ooh, maybe. Then there's a coffee, which is just like a no strings attached. You're like, buy yourself something nice. And since this is my time, I'm gonna say that yes, official stance: 10% of everything that goes to the coffee.
Also, we are selling things on Teespring,
and I will match dollar for dollar every bit for the first $100, so we can get that fucking nice bling for Mish's butt. But yeah, we got the coffee, and if you don't feel like giving money, fuck good, and just be here with us, and we're happy. Like, that's all that's necessary. We do this for the passion. Sorry, go ahead, Yanis.
We also have a Teespring. You can check out our Teespring if you want to get yourself some lovely Blackwater gear. We got Blackwater chatwater mugs. We got chatwater t-shirts.
Yes.
Check out our
got
Teespring
so
for all
many
your Blackwater
mugs
gear
waiting for me at M, but I can't pick them up because it's quarantine time.
Yes.
They're just sitting there waiting for me.
So many.
But that's it.
Mugs.
We must have got it, M. We must have got it.
There's one last one, but since it's my favorite one, I get to say it.
What the fuck did we lose?
What did we miss?
Lore Club.
Oh no, they really are the like fucking high school nerds of our society.
You know what? Shut the fuck up, both of you.
Whoa.
I love Lore Club and will defend them to the end of the earth and back.
We
love Lorecraft too.
My lore babies.
We love Lorecraft.
Lore Club. We love Lore Club.
We love Lore Club.
It's club? Yeah, we love Lore
It's a club. Yeah, we love that one too. Lorecraft, Lore Club, Legendcraft.
Our amazing mod, the New Experience Network, has created a
Silvercraft.
community.
Legend Club.
Can you let me finish the Lore Club announcement, please?
Nah, get out of here,
Jeez.
nerd.
Oh my
This is the place for the
God.
cool guys to talk about money.
There wouldn't even be a show without lore, so y'all can just take it and stuff it for a minute.
No,
This
I
is for
know.
us D&D jocks. You beat it, nerds.
Dungeon jocks.
So
working
amazing
on our
mod,
stats and our mechanics. We don't care
the
about
New
how we
Experience-
got here. Lore's for losers. I'm in the moment. Sorry, go ahead, Emma.
Our amazing mod, the New Experience Network, has created a beautiful community lore project that is just fantastic. And if you would like to get involved with our community lore project, all you have to do is type !lore in the chat. It'll take you to a Google form, and it will send you right there. You can participate and get involved. There are a bunch of spreadsheets, some color-coded documents. There's a K to D ratio. They're going through the old stuff on all of our YouTube stuff. They're creating a lore document. It is prolific and a treat. And I drop in every now and again, and I know we're going to be organizing some Lore Club meetups in the future. So a little like Lore Club chat. So if you want to get involved and come talk Blackwater lore, that's where you go do it. And it's not, I mean, it is nerdy, but that's not a bad thing, you jocks.
Nah, you gotta have nerds. Gotta have somebody who
Gotta have
fucking
nerds,
put
because
nerds. Fucking noogie.
if
Oh, yeah,
we
dude.
didn't have lore, like a lore club, this is the original this is the original book that I have been tirelessly going through to chronologue and get all of the lore that is in this book with my, this is before I started taking good notes, some like really good notes to put them down. And we're gonna transition now. We're gonna segue and talk about the original, the very first arc of the Blackwater campaign. The very first one, which neither of you were present for and know nothing about.
I think you've talked a little bit about it in passing. Yanis, I'm gonna start this off.
So let me give a little bit of preamble, please.
Nah,
please.
fine.
I'm gonna do it.
No. I'm gonna derail you before you even get on. Now go ahead.
Okay. So this was at Yanis's and Sean's request to start from the very beginning. We're going to start with the original first few sessions of Blackwater, and then will take us through the Elemental Chaos arc, and then into the first Earth Elemental Plane arc, and then into the Feywild arc, which takes us right up to the Barmwitch arc. So now we've gone Barmwitch forward, which gives you basically all of the information that you need that is mostly relevant to the current campaign, like currently where we are. So now we get to deep dive. We go way the fuck back 3 years ago to the first couple sessions of the original. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, this is for the lore club. This is the deep lore.
This is the deep lore.
And the structure, because neither Yanis nor I were there.
Yes.
We're gonna do that fun game that we did when it was like, oh, I was there too. Where wait, this is kind of the original.
This is the original. We're back to the OG.
Oh, fuck. The original system was Yanis asked me and I had to make shit up. But now I'm pitching like we ask each other. I'm going to turn it around on you. Look, you know what? We'll freeball it. We'll see.
We're doing it live.
We'll see what happens.
Doing it live. We'll get there.
We're just going to have a good time with lore. Go ahead,
We're just here with a good time with the story. So of the original adventures that started with Blackwater, Neppy, Kokanee, and Spooky are Yana are the only ones that remain. But we didn't know Yana was Yana at this point. We only knew her as Spooky Pants, and that will be relayed to chatWater. We'll get there. Also, these notes are more abridged because I was not good at note taking for this campaign as of this point, and also had a very young baby that I was taking care of while simultaneously playing. I often like to tell the story that there was one time where I was putting my daughter down for a nap and she refused to sleep, so I was in there with her just like helping her get to sleep silently, and I was on my earphones listening to the game while I was putting my daughter down for a nap because I couldn't miss it, because I don't know what that says about me as a person, but that's something.
It's commitment.
Thank you so much. Thank you for validating me. She was almost asleep and then she did go, so it was great. And there would be a lot of times where she was just up and awake and she was a lot less mobile at this point, so we could like have her, someone would hold her, or we would just sit her in her high chair and she would play and all that kind of stuff. It was great. It was great. Tiny little BB around with D&D. It was very fun.
B&B with the D&D.
Yeah, and we also used to play in the daytime, which was also really great. We did like Bruncheons and Dragons. So we would start at like 9:30 in the morning and play. Oh, my internet is and we're back, I think. Sorry, I'm having some technical issues on my end. We would play starting at like 10 a.m. and play until like 3. And we would just like play all day, and I would make brunch, and it was great. But so we will talk a little bit about some of the other adventurers that were with us, but mostly we'll focus on Neppy and Kokanee and Spooky up to that point, and when Callie gets introduced and all that kind of stuff. So we'll start with session 1, the very first
Yanis,
session.
how did Blackwater meet? How'd that
How did we
start?
meet?
How did
In a
how did
tavern.
session?
We did meet in a tavern.
Everyone meets in a tavern.
Okay, nice.
We
I
did
was like,
meet in
because
a
I
tavern.
know that the first session was just meant to be a one shot.
It was.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
It was.
So starting in okay, all right.
So
Gotta go
Yanis,
to the tavern. Tried and
what was
tested.
what was the tavern shenanigans? Because inevitably Tim was like, "Here's the plot," and they said, "I'm willing to bet they're like, no, keep your plot. We're gonna do some shenanigans for a hot second."
Yeah, knowing
right?
Yeah, knowing what we know about them, yeah, for sure. Is this when Spooky Pants had her interaction with Hedgehog? Was that the very first session?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They did like an arm wrestle or something, and Hedgehog let her win.
They did. Do you remember what race Hedgehog is?
Oh, he's a Goliath. I never forget
a
big guy.
He is. He's a Goliath barbarian, and they had a. Jen is so happy in the chat right now. I love it. They had an arm wrestle in the tavern. So we, do you remember the name of the town that we started in?
Oh my God.
And why we all met there? Ugh.
It was werewolves. It was werewolves.
Yes, but we didn't know it was werewolves at the time.
Oh.
Name of the town. Oh, jeez.
Come on, boys.
It's like outside of Barmwich. I don't know.
It's nowhere near Barmwich.
I don't know geography.
I'm trying to think of towns, but all the towns that are coming to my mind are like major towns now.
I like the name Frostbaron, but I don't think that's actually even in the world. I just think that's a fun little fantasy name that I came up with.
Hint?
I would love a hint, Em.
Okay, the hint is it's near the town of Svellen. It's not Svellen, but it's near Svellen.
It's
don't know geography.
It's spell something.
No. It's Shinkick. Welcome to
Shinkick. Shinkick is so far north. Okay, I'm just gonna put you both out of your misery.
It's Wellen.
Nellen? Nelsven.
Toran.
Yes.
So we gathered there in the tavern called the Ragged Dog.
Like, was it a magic school bus style thing where you were inside Torin, or?
So wait,
so many Torrens in this campaign.
You were in a tavern in Tor N, and it wasn't called the Tor N Inn.
No.
That's showing Tim's greenness
his
as a
growth.
DM.
Yeah,
his
growth.
Yeah. At that point, he was a
There's no way.
What was the tavern's name? Do you have the tavern's name?
The Ragged Dog Inn.
The Ragged.
Oh, that was the clue. I mean, it's like werewolves.
Right. So we all met there.
Oh, that's good. He had the heat from the beginning.
He did. So we gathered all there for the Ithril's Renewal, which is the Lunar New Year festival. So of the
werewolves, hell yeah! I love this. He's just laying those.
It was a one shot, right? So it all had to be contained in one thing. So Neppy arrived because she heard some tales of someone who was promised, like a chosen one, someone who was bad, not a good person, was going to be involved with this festival. So she had been looking all over the continent trying to figure out who the person was that was at the center of her prophecy, and she had just ended up in Torin, and obviously like stuck out like a sore thumb. Because she's blue and a tiefling, so far from where tieflings are supposed to be, and so they were all like, why are you here? And we were like, I was like, hi, I just need a brand new Emma baby role player at that point.
This was your first time playing D&D?
It was not. I had played in a different campaign before, but this was my first time as not like this is the second character I ever played.
Okay, yeah.
Neppy was my second character. So, and Kokanee. Why do you think so? Kokanee and Spooky arrived together. Why do you think they were in Torin?
Kokanee's hunting for those artifacts. That was
indeed.
OG Indiana Jokanee.
Yes,
that was the man. And I think Yana was just along for the ride with Kokni.
She was actually technically on the run. She was a fugitive, but nobody knew it at that point. So the party was accompanied by 2 others of their traveling companions named Alder and Arveldis. Alder is a halfling druid who was there because the Ethereal's Renewal Festival in Torren is a big drinking festival. There's lots of drinks that go around, and Alder loved to drink. And Arveldis is essentially like a sideshow magician. He was a high elf sorcerer and was hired by the town to put on like displays of magic for the children and stuff like that. And Lennon and Adam and Sean hadn't joined the party yet. So I'll tell you a little bit about Alder and Arveldis. So they were played by our dear friends Emily and Dave, and Emily and Dave have given me permission to talk about them. So big shout outs to them, and we love them very much. They were with us for the first couple sessions, but chatwater, we'll get there.
Probably today.
Probably
We're getting there today.
We're getting there today, but later on. So the Ragged Dog Inn is run by Dagnall Steelfist, and her barback named Lucan. So we heard some rumors.
Very much like Lupin. Just saying.
Tim just laying the little bits. Lots of wolf stuff everywhere. And so we heard some rumors in the town about people going missing and being like disappeared, technically. So we then spoke, you keep talking about the name Torren. We spoke to someone named, and of course Adam's Torren was not a person in our universe at this point, like we didn't know. So we spoke to the records keeper named Torren Silmac.
So it's a Torren in Torren.
A Torren in Torren, if you will. Yes.
What a cruel parentage he must have had.
Absolutely. He was Dragonborn who lived in Torren, and we had investigated a temple to a god that had been desecrated. Which god do you think's temple had been desecrated in Torren?
Melora?
Nope.
That's a good bet.
Good bet, but no.
I'm sure the god I'm thinking is wrong, but I'm gonna see if I can remember the god. It is the god of Epop. He's my favorite god, whose name I always forget, but I want to see if I can get it. Corlin.
Good job on getting the name, but wrong god.
Hold on. So maybe it's the opposite of the moon is the sun. So Pelor.
Pelor, you're correct. Yes, you are absolutely correct. So
wait, but who's the moon god? We've been over this.
Saloon.
No, you can't tell us, Am. That's for me. That's for me and Yanis to stumble into.
You've been doing so good. I get to jump in a little bit. So we
flexing that lore muscle.
We investigated this temple of Pelor that had been desecrated. We didn't find much. And we
hey,
also...
wait. Mm-hmm. Em, bad god of war. There's the good one. Who's the bad one?
Bane.
Yeah, I just want to test her real fast. Yanis, throw deity descriptions at her. See how fast she knows them. Yeah.
Isn't there one of luck?
Yeah, luck
Avandra.
god. Halfling god.
That's Skarl Glittergold.
Yeah.
But the problem is, Sean, can I pull you aside for a second?
Do you want me to take off my earphones? Do you want me to take off my headphones?
Listen. The problem is I don't know if she's right. She probably is.
She wouldn't lie to us. She wouldn't lie to us. She would tell us if she didn't know. And she's not gonna know.
Lore Club would keep her honest.
Lore Club keeps me honest.
Sean and I are talking.
Yeah. We're over here. You're over there.
You're over there.
Okay.
I actually don't know our Yanis. I mean,
you guys
Emma,
are up
you
top.
Can see.
You're up top.
We're both up top.
Am I on the left? If I'm talking this way,
we're both looking the wrong way.
Yanis, you got to turn the other way. That's better.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Sean, you have to turn the other way.
Okay, now we're over here, and Emma's down.
My microphone's over here, so like I gotta come over here.
That's fine.
Wait,
it's better.
Yanis has to look that way, and I have to. Oh, mine is mirrored.
Oh, mine's mirrored. But if we're both mirrored, anyways.
No, you're not mirrored in my thing. I'm mirrored in my thing.
But I'm mirrored in my thing. So we're both looking the same way.
So Emma, you're saying this looks good when we're both looking this way?
I mean, good is at this point. Good is really relative.
Great. We're killing it. All right, let's have the secret talk. I forgot what it was about.
Just that I don't know if she's correct or not.
Oh, okay.
So she could be saying any name.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, you were saying?
You were quizzing me on gods.
Oh yeah, I ran out of one stat.
Who's the cat god?
Nepthisicate?
Oh, okay.
That's my goddess. Come on, I made that up.
I thought if I threw you like, the obvious one, you would be like, oh,
Platinum Dragon.
Bahamut.
Or is it Task? Trick question. It's both. I got you.
Oh, you got me.
Sorry, Adam, you're talking about Blackwater's first journey?
Yes.
And
Desecrated Temple of
Paylor.
Paylor.
It was
Yes.
the Temple to Paylor.
And
Because
then,
fuck that guy.
well, they
I'm
were all
glad
like,
that
fuck
happened.
that guy. And then we went to a bakery and discovered that a bunch of cultists of the Cult of the Moon had holed up in the basement. So I'm going to ask you a question here in a second. So we ended up killing a bunch of these cultists. And then Neppy did something that the party was like, oh my god, what are you doing? But if we think about Neppy in context, it's quite typical Neppy. So we have a bunch of dead bodies. What do you think Neppy did with them?
Oh,
We're in a bakery.
You got to get that burial shroud, so you got to flour sacks, right?
No. Think about it. We're in a bakery.
You fucking cremated them in the fucking oven, you maniac.
She absolutely opened the oven doors and put them in the ovens.
You psycho.
You had to get rid of the evidence.
This was
my god, I thought
Neppy.
it was like a diligence type of
thing. It was like they're dead now and they can't come back to life and we don't know what's going to happen. So
But what about the baker? He can't cook in that oven again.
You just ruined this bakery.
The baker was also a cultist. And
you
he was currently dead.
baked the baker?
He was dead at that point. So we put the baker into his own oven.
I mean, did you guys like stoke the fire hot enough and stay there until it was all gone, or did you just like leave a bunch of half-cooked bodies in like
I believe what happened is
oven?
Neppy lit the ovens. She used thaumaturgy to bring the flames up very, very high, and then she closed and locked the door.
Oh, cool! Thaumaturgy lasts for a minute, so
yeah, absolutely.
That was just.
But she kept the ovens on hot. She kept like if there was a lot of fuel under there, and then they had to get out. So she burned the bodies. And all the party was like, "Who is this person?" And I was like, "This makes sense. This makes sense to me."
Oh yeah, no judgment about like that. Yeah, burning bodies checks out. It's just like it's a slap in the face to like the local baker community because like now they just have a bakery that they can't do anything with.
I mean, the baker was like the most powerful cultist in that basement.
So well, I'm sorry. There's only one guy like bread in that town. Like, someone else can figure out how to bake, but they're gonna need a new oven because the other one tastes like baker.
So we then had to go to this cave, and
wait! I wanna. So you walk away and you let this thing toasty. Because here's the thing: whenever I walk past a bakery, I'm like, if I know the bakery's there, I'm stoked to get that sniff in my nose. And so I'm just imagining because these guys are slow burning for a while. Like after you're gone, like someone's walking by. Because like, what time did you burn these bodies? I'm assuming night.
About like 10 o'clock at night, maybe 11.
Okay. So like 4 a.m. if I know bakers is when they tend to start doing the thing so they can have the bread ready for like the early risers. And like 4 a.m. there's probably some like fucking town card who's like walking by and it's part of his path and just like, oh, let me get that sniff. And he walks by like, whoa, what is Greg cooking today?
Yes. Yeah. Jen is also bringing
like hair and bones.
Jen is also bringing up a very interesting point in the chat. Neppy as grave cleric, Yana as necromancer, meeting for the first time, being like, Neppy was...
Buddy cop.
It's telling that the necromancer was like, yo, this girl crazy burning bodies up in that oven.
Oh, I bet the necromancer was like, no, don't burn that. We can use that.
Yeah, I believe she did say, she's like, we can use those. And Neppy was like, no, we're not. I know what you do. We're not bringing those back.
We're not doing that. We're ruining this bakery for the entire town.
Absolutely.
For someone who loves pie, it was an awful, awful decision.
She does. They weren't cooking pie at that bakery. It was a sham bakery.
Wait. You're saying they only did cult stuff at their front bakery?
I have no idea.
They didn't actually bake
stuff.
They only cooked moon-shaped pastries, croissants, donuts with the hole still in.
I love this. I love this front of a bakery that does no baking. So it's just like definitely a bakery, not a cult hideout. People come in and be like, "Can I get some bread?" I'm like, we don't do that here. Like we're all sold out. It's
we're all sold out of that. Also, I really enjoy that chat right now is making some really nice allegories to Sweeney Todd. Thank you. I'm honored.
I've been listening to Sweeney Todd a lot, actually. Okay, all right, let's move past the bakery.
So we go and we head over to this cave where we meet a drow druid named Varys. So Varys was pretty shifty and cagey with us. There was a lot of scratch marks on the inside of the walls of the cave that he lived in. And of course, as a brand new D&D party, can you guess what we did? We
Killed him?
We killed him. Yeah, we did. We kind of aggressed on him, and then he retaliated, and then we ended it because there was like 8 of
So you
us.
found a spooky dude in the cave, and you're like, "We got this guy."
Yeah, and we thought
There's room in that oven back at the
We thought he was
bakery.
the problem. So we go back into town, and we were like, "We got the guy," and then what's happening
That's
is we
so bad in retrospect.
yeah.
You just found someone who didn't live in a house and looked
No.
spooky, and you're like, "We should kill this guy." Like, that's
Yeah.
some purge shit.
We
Like,
listen. We totally
that's-
took care of it. What do you mean
got
took care of
the
it? There was
guy,
a guy. You killed Ted?
But to be
Ted-
fair,
Ted's just the guy who
So-
picks up the bottles.
we get
He's a
back into
woodsman.
town. We get back into town, and we hear screaming.
Probably fucking the people finding out
know,
that
The
their
baker's
bakery is
family.
filled with
Yes.
bodies.
Sun
So-
comes down, opens the oven, fucking
So we-
half
This
cooked
is a
dad.
small town. Everyone in that cult probably
You guys
like
were
had kids
monsters.
and stuff.
It was a one shot. We didn't think there was any ramifications of what we did. So out. So
Yeah,
the reason. So
that doesn't
something.
excuse it there, champ.
No,
Okay,
it doesn't.
go on.
So something else we had figured out that because we had come to the town was the mayor had been murdered. So that was another reason that the festival was a little more somber this year, but the mayor had been murdered. So out of the mayor, and like we had interviewed the mayor's daughter, and we'd interviewed his son, and all that kind of stuff. We'd interviewed some of the guards, most notably Dern Burnman, who is related to
Kern Burnman.
Yes, how were they related?
By blood?
Very good. What was their relationship?
Brothers.
Yes.
Brothers.
Twin brothers,
Yeah.
actually.
Twin brothers.
Twin brothers. So what happens is we get back into town.
Identical or fraternal?
Identical twin brothers.
I mean, if you're not identical twins, it just seems like a waste. If you go to all the trouble of having twins and they don't even match.
Could you imagine having that attitude like at the hospital? Like, they're
Oh.
twins. Oh, they have different colored hair, huh?
Oh
yeah.
boy. So we
Ooh,
get
what's
back into
the point?
town. There's
I mean,
screaming.
we have 2 babies now, and they don't even look the same.
So we get back into town. There's screaming, and out of the front door of the mayor's house bursts an alpha werewolf, and
Nice.
2 other werewolves. So we watch these 2 smaller werewolves just run after the guards, most notably Dern Burnman, blessings from my goddess, and he was just eviscerated by this
Ooh.
other werewolf, and it starts like just tearing through people. So we end up killing the 2 werewolves and the alpha werewolf. And as we kill the alpha werewolf, we realize that it was the mayor's daughter. So she killed her dad.
Oh.
And to try
Fresh.
and like, usurp the town. And she was actually in league with Varys, the druid who we killed. So like they were like the cult of the moon, and they were going to try and turn everyone in the town into werewolves and rise up, and it was a big shebang.
Which one was Varys?
Varys was the druid that we killed in the cave, the drow druid who lived in the cave
So-
that we killed.
Oh, so he
was a
was
bad
bad.
guy?
He
He
was a bad
was.
guy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you made it seem like
Well, at the time we killed him, we didn't know he was bad. We just thought he
I
was
bet
bad,
I
but then we
bet
got
Tim
the
just
confirmation afterwards.
I bet Tim just retconned that a little bit to make you guys not bloody murderers. Yeah. He was totally in on it.
He's totally not. No, I'm pretty sure Varys. I've seen Tim's notes, and Varys was in on it from the beginning.
Was
There
it
would have
written in a different color?
No, it was not. But there was like early up in the document, it says if the party does this with Varys, they will give him this information, all etc. etc.
Okay, all right.
So after we defeat the werewolves and we save the city, we're invited to the city of Svel-En, which to meet King Evard, who was dear friends with the mayor of Tor-En, and
This got to be a new session at this point. You kill the werewolf, that's the end of the one shot.
That
right?
was the end of the one shot. Yes, and then
And so I
like-
would love to dig into the psychology of the players, where you're like, that one shot was great.
yeah.
Let's keep this going.
Yeah, it was basically like we were like, oh my god, like 5 days because it was a New Year's Eve party, and we had everyone over. I cooked a big dinner. We had people had champagne. I wasn't drinking at the time because I was pregnant, and it was just a lovely, beautiful, wonderful party. It was like 4 couples. We were all just hanging out. We were like, I hate going out. Going out sucks on New Year's. It's so expensive. It's a potluck. Bring a dish. I will cook the main, and bring BYOB, and we're gonna play D&D. And most people here hadn't played before.
Cool.
Like this was it was like a very much a brand new thing. Tim was a brand new DM at that point, had run a 3-shot. And that was the grand experience of like his DMing at that point. And we all had so much, at the end of the night, we were like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. We'd had like a group chat that we'd like New Year's Eve group chat. And then 3 days later, people were like, can we do that again? Can we play more? Can we do that again? So at this point, like with life and stuff, we met monthly. So we were playing monthly at that point. So we didn't meet again for another month.
Oof.
So that was.
Sean's like, oh, I can't
even
imagine
imagine
going that long
only
without
once a month.
D&D.
No,
So-
I've been in that heat. It's
That's
rough.
what our
Yes.
old campaign used to be. Well,
Yes.
I mean, we aimed for 2 weeks.
We aimed for 2 weeks, but it was usually monthly.
So
yeah, life gets in the way.
So while Tim was in the process of being like, okay, you folks want to do this again, this is great. Let's now transition this from being, something ongoing. And I remember like Tim in that first month after we had decided we wanted to play again, he just like, and I always remember watching the Fireside Chat, he talked about this, he just fell into world building. He just like collapsed into world building. There was like so much that was going on, and he built the original map of Wolfar. He like fleshed out everything and was just like hours and hours and hours of world building that happened in that first month, starting to like sow the seeds of what is the universe that we all know now. So he gave us a bit more information to like help us transition, that we were going to go to Svelen and meet King Evard. And we learned that there was a gentleman, Hector Turnbuckle, who we know now. We've met him in Wolfreen a bunch of times.
Wait. This has happened since I've been here.
Yes, Hector Turnbuckle.
We've met Hector. I know who Hector is. Mm-hmm. Yanis, do you know who Hector is?
Do you know who Hector is?
Well, he's in Wolfreen.
Yes.
Why? Is he in Wolfreen? It's a great question, Em.
Thank you. I ask good ones.
Was he in Wolfreen? Did he leave Wolfreen?
Well, he was in. Go ahead.
Can I hop in real quick?
Please do.
Hector Turnbuckle is the guy that fucking Balsum was like, Kokanee Buckwild, kill this guy or I kill you. And Kokanee didn't. That was Hector, right?
That's Hector Turnbuckle.
Oh, I thought I was
done,
getting
Sean.
that wrong and digging myself
Lore
deep.
points for Sean.
To be fair, Yanis wasn't there at that point.
That's true.
But who was Hector? Like,
so Hector Turnbuckle, we found out, was he'd been working as a hired hand in the mayor's house, but the party had like, he's somebody that you want to talk to, Hector, but he disappeared. So we had heard that he was making his way towards Svelen, so we decided to follow him too, searching for Hector along the way, and then also going to talk to King Evard as well. So some notable NPCs that we meet, as I said, Dern Burnman, and then just as we were leaving the town, his brother Kern shows up and says, my brother died. I'm going to take you and escort you to Svelen. My party, like I rode ahead when I heard what happened. I'm going to escort you back to Svelen because we're already on our way.
And Kern Burnman, I'm fucking putting these pieces together. Kern Burnman was the gentleman who lost his arm in the Scar.
Yes.
When you guys went there and like fought in that big ring. And then later, and then Yanis, you were there for this, when Neppy got the ability to regrow an arm. We like teleported into his home. He was naked. We all saw his peen, met his family,
yes,
and then grew his arm back, and it was really lovely.
Just a beautiful experience. And Kern is one of my favorite NPCs of the entire campaign. He's a delight, and he is stationed permanently in Svelen because he is one of the higher ups in the guard of military of Svelen.
But we never go to Svelen. I think we should employ him for one of our adventures.
We've been to Svelen many
part
times.
Of our life. Yeah, but it's like
chatWater, we'll get there. So
Svelen
also,
is like not Wolfreen.
Also, something that happens. What does Kokanee do with the staff? So Varys has a staff. It's called the Staff of Isilme, or the Staff of the Moon. What does Kokanee do with it?
I
He
know this
sends
one,
it
but I
back
want.
to
Yeah.
Velsoon.
He does indeed. That's
Or
the
his
very
dad,
How
I
does he
guess.
do that? Does he have just like a magical hat that he sticks it in, or?
It's a ritual. It's a magical ritual that Velsoon taught him about. Like it's like almost like a little pocket ritual that was
Sick.
meant to teleport things back. So that episode that's the end of episode or session 1. So session 2 and 3, my notes are pretty smushed and very small, so I have smushed them together. And I'm calling this one, the first one was called The Adventure Begins. This episode, session 2, which took place on February 4th and March 4th of 2018, is called Whispers of Rebellion. So we get on the way to Svelen, we fight off something on the road that is attacking the rest of Kern's party that we meet
What are you,
up with.
level 2, level 3?
We're level 5 at this
level
point.
5. Okay.
What do we fight?
Ooh.
Because we had started at level 5. That was like the beginning of this campaign was a level 5. What did we fight on the road?
I want to say Owlbear, but I know we're not working in Cali shit until later.
Was it just like brigands?
No.
No, I think it was a thing.
It was like, a couple things. There were 7 of them.
7 things?
Yes.
Kobolds?
Dwarves?
Neither.
Orcs?
Nope.
Goblins?
Nope.
No. 7 bad little boys.
They were big. They were big.
Ogres?
Bad
7
big
ogres?
boys.
That's too big.
No. Yana was particularly pleased with them.
Big spiders.
Big spiders.
There we go. We got there. Good hint. Good hint.
Thank you so much. I like this game. This is fun. So we fight off some spiders that had been attacking the rest of Kern's party. So we meet back up with Kern's party and they escort us the rest of the way.
And that's why Kern doesn't like spiders.
Yes.
Which I also remember is canon. Hell
yes,
yeah.
It is.
It's all coming together, Lore Club.
There, Lore Club. So Sean and what?
Can I make a request for Lore Club?
Always, Sean. Listen up, Lore Club.
I would love just, I don't want you to like dig super deep or whatever. Just as we go, anytime a character is like, I like this, I dislike that, I would just love to have just like a dossier. And when you look up a character, they just have their likes and dislikes, like relatives, like associated people, but like their likes and dislikes. Like letters, minotaurs, and some furbolgs. Winky face. Like dislikes everybody else. Winky face. So it's just a sex thing, not like a personality thing.
Jen is roasting you in the chat right now, Sean.
Oh, why?
Because it's very funny. She's saying like making fun of Lore Club and then asking requests of Lore Club.
Yeah, that's what jocks do because we know you're important and we're jealous of your like academic prowess.
Thank you for
we know
that.
We're peaking in 3 years and you like keep on succeeding into like your 60s. Like the amount of stress we're under, like we get a scholarship on how good we can throw a ball, whereas like you get a scholarship based on your like achievements, like academically. Like, how can we not feel inferior to you and lash out?
God, I love this. This is the relationship I love. Also, Lore Club, I love you very much. You're the best. So we get to Wolfreen. Oh, sorry, not Wolfreen, Svelen. And we're granted an audience with King Evard of Svelen. He thanks us for our service, and he grants us a place to stay for a few nights before we move on our way. Svelen is in the midst of ongoing alliance talks with Wolfreen, the capital city, to set up permanent trade routes. And his daughter, does anyone remember the daughter of King Evard? What her name is?
No, but I remember a very important person in Svelen.
Who was there at that meeting?
Was Adonis at that meeting?
He was not. But there was
like
somebody
Adonis's
else who
OG shop was in Svelen.
It was, and we'll talk about Adonis in just a moment.
Kamea was at Svelen.
Kamea was there.
We were dropping Kamea this early.
All right, he dropped Kamea so early. So we hear
Session 3.
This is 2. This is 2 at this point. So, the king's daughter. Any hints on her name?
Oh, the king of
Evard's clue. She was with Kern in the Earth Elemental Plane. She got transported there as well.
Oh no, that was before my time.
Just before, like 2 sessions before you came.
Mira.
That's right. Mira.
Oh.
Well done. Well done. Yes, Mira N.
Fucking look who's in Lore Club now.
Well, have you pushing up your glasses in no time, Sean?
Yeah, Dad.
This is like the 80s movie where the nerd teaches the jock like in time for the
this
test.
is
Like
Blackwater Breakfast Club, and nobody can convince me otherwise.
Fucking tape your buns together.
So we hear that Mira is on a diplomatic mission to gain some experience, so that when Everett succeeds the throne, that she can take his position. And we also learn that this town follows a god. That they're like Svelen, Torin, and the neighboring town of Silen all kind of have one main god that they follow. Who do they follow?
Oh, I confused this with Sirang Dune. Svelen.
You're close. It is a dwarven god.
Oh, it is. Oh, fuck me. Don't. Oh, I usually know this one. Ma. It's a ma. It's a ma.
Yes, it is a ma.
Ma. Yanis, you got anything?
Is it Moradin?
It is
fucking Moradin.
Well done, boys. Well done. So
no, I don't get points for that.
So present at this meeting is the incomparable Kamea Skysinger, as well as the general to the Queen of Wolfreen and one of the main advisors there.
Isn't that Finnan's dad?
No.
No, he's an admiral?
He is a captain in the Navy. He's
He's
one of the higher captains in the Navy.
Copy that.
Yeah. But we'll talk about admirals and all that kind of stuff in the next arc. But the general at this point is named. Neither of you would know this, so I'm not going to make you guess. Her name is General Mergen Riza. So Mergen Riza is there, and she is one of the She sits on the council, and she is one of the main advisors to the Queen of Wolfreen, who is named Queen.
The Queen of Wolfreen?
Before
this
Kamea.
is
Before
Before
Cora.
Kamea, before Cora, the Queen of Wolfreen.
Who was killed?
Who was murdered?
Is it Jolene, the Queen of Wolfreen?
No.
Seraphine, the Queen of Wolfreen.
It doesn't rhyme.
Her full name was Jolene Seraphine, the Queen of Wolframe. I think it does. No, I got no idea.
Primea?
No. Her name
Primea.
is...
Wait, no. This is fun. Now we're having fun with it. Primea.
Hold on, sorry. Jolene, the Queen of Wolfreen, was not having fun with it. That was your serious guess at that point.
Maybe. It wasn't. Look, I just think Primea is really clever and fun, and I was hoping I could come up with something as fun, but I can't.
Stop that right now. I see you in the chat, Tim. You get out of there.
Does he have a good one? What's Tim's?
He's joking that we might have to retcon her name, and we absolutely will not, because it is now in the lore.
What did you say? Jolene Seraphine?
Jolene Seraphine.
Because
I like Jolene Seraphine, the Queen of Wolfreen.
Her name
was... He's plugging Primea.
Primea is very
Her name
good.
was Queen Thealia. So...
Does she have a last name?
I don't know, Tim. What was the
Thiela
queen?
Thiela.
No,
Thiela Primea.
Tim's looking it up in his notes.
Thiela Primea Seraphine, the Queen of Wolfreen.
Yes.
Anyway, so Thiela, very popular.
Queen Thealia, and she's
long
the queen
may
of
she reign.
So
Spoiler,
they are.
Doesn't.
Spoiler: she does not. Chatwater will get there. So they're here on diplomatic missions. And so Kamea's there, as well as Kamea's bodyguard, who is named.
Neva.
That's right. Do you remember Neva's last name?
Primea.
No.
Postmea.
Postmea. Wait, no. Never. Oh, wait. It's got to be Neva Evermea, because she's always going to be there for Kamea.
No, that's not it. It's
Neva Evermea? No.
Ironside.
Neva Evermea is great.
Neva Ironside. So
she's half orc?
No, Neva is... Tim, is Neva human? He's deep in his notes. Neva's a human.
I always imagined her as a big green lady.
No,
fun.
No, she's human. And she, do you know what weapon Neva wields?
She got 2 swords, right?
No, crossbow.
No, crossbow.
Big old crossbow. Mergen Riza, however, was half orc.
I've combined those 2 people. I don't know who Mergen Riza is.
Mergen Riza was the former general of Wolfreen. But we will talk about what happens to Mergen Riza at some point.
Who I've conflated.
So we are Also, Big Tiger Man, I see your question in the chat. We will get there. I promise you. In the Elemental Chaos arc, we will get there.
What's the question?
The
I want
question
to hear
is,
it.
what was the decision process for Lightkeeper to go to fighter after being a cleric? But there
Ooh,
is,
that is a
we will
juicy
get there
question.
because spoilers, he was a fighter first.
Oh, yeah, this is pre-cleric.
This is pre-cleric Kokanee.
This is all this boy can do is hit, but he can still do magic because he
no
is
guns yet.
an arcane knight.
And no guns. He only had a sword at this point. So we hear, while we're in the town, talk of what they called a calamity that had happened in the town of Silen, which was a neighboring fishing village. Gossip was spreading through the town about the sea that walked and tidal waves that engulfed the town.
So this is elementals, like right off the bat.
This is like
water
the spurrings
elementals
of the elemental chaos arc. Yeah, so this is Tim setting us up for the next arc, but we didn't know that yet. So Neppy, as a healer, like offered, and she wasn't Neppy at that point. She was just still Nepentha at that point. They hadn't started calling her Neppy at that point.
Fun.
So she offers her services as a healer at the local temple because this is where most of the refugees from Silan had come in. So we go to the local temple of Moradin, which is called Moradin's Grace, and the people in the temple are affected by varying states of madness and catatonia. Like they are wrecked. I try lesser restoration. I try restoration spells and nothing is helping. Healing spells don't, it's like nothing. Their minds have just been they're so panicked and there's so much stress and trauma from what has happened in the city.
Okay, I feel like knowing Spooky Pants at this time being solely Spooky Pants, I feel like there's a very small chance that Spooky didn't fuck with at least one of these mentally unstable people. Is that correct?
No,
did she do a little shit? She didn't do any shenanigans?
No shenanigans.
Wow.
No, we were very serious party at this point.
Okay.
We were a very serious party.
We don't have that one-shot energy anymore.
We're in a campaign now. This is sessions 2 and 3. We're committed to being a D&D party.
Okay, tell me this.
Yeah.
Was Kokanee Buckwild pretty straight-laced even back in the day?
He was. He was more straight-laced than he is now. Much more.
With a name like Kokanee Buckwild?
He was there was very little emotionality to him. He was pretty hardline and very rigid and he didn't share a lot about himself, kind of gruff.
Okay, so Kokanee Buckwild, very straight-laced. Nepentha, Nepentha was maximum homeschooled kid, so yes. I imagine very straight-laced with the exception of the odd business ruining.
But also, Neppy at that point was just kind of discovered. She had this wonderful mixture for me of super straight-lacedness and then just utter wonder at
that's
the world.
Great.
Because she'd been on her own for maybe a year and a half. She'd left Philenis a year and a half before. So she'd never been this far west, ever.
Okay. Paint a portrait of where Spooky Pants is at this time. Because I understand that just before this, she was pretending to be a bard called Lemon Drop Thimblestein or something. And there we go. And she's doing her own thing, being a wacky little goofball or something, on the run in kind of a quirky way.
Yes.
At the table, was Spooky a little gremlin? Was it just quiet and to itself?
Spooky was very engaged and sweet and kind, but didn't talk a lot about herself at all. There was very little. She was very much of the Yana we see now, but did not share anything about herself.
Okay, see, this informs my guessing at the shenanigans y'all get up to.
Yes,
Copy
there was few shenanigans. We weren't the ones doing the shenanigans at this point, put it that way.
I see. Okay.
We were not the ones doing the shenanigans. So
it's pre-Sean, so less shenanigans.
Yes. So we realize that there's not much we can do.
Find stillness, Yanis.
Also, thank you so much, Good Fork, in the chat. Good Fork just typed, "Get you a Neppy that can do both," and I love that. That makes me very happy. It's my goal. That's my big goals in life. So I'll wait till Yanis comes back. But as we're leaving this temple, we overhear a conversation that has been discussing attacks on some guards that have been perpetrated by a small rebel group. So we decide to report this to the king, and he asks us to investigate. So
rebel group.
A small rebel group. So what do you think we do first?
if you're investigating a small rebel group,
very small,
and you go to
we're in
like
Svelin.
Like 6 people.
I don't know. We just chose small.
There's a small rebel group. You talk to the king. He's like, go take care of it. But you seem so straight-laced. I feel like you go to the tavern and get messy. Like, that's what my gut is telling me.
Well, we knew that there had been...
You don't have Callie yet. You're not going to hit a tavern yet.
We hear talk. You're on the right track, though. We hear talk that there has been some movement happening at a tavern called the Idle Pinwheel, which is in a kind of like the really lower class
that is
part
in
of
Shinkick.
No, it's not. That's in
what?
Svelin. The Idle Pinwheel is in Svelin.
So the Shinkick isn't a part of Svelin. Got it.
No, it's definitely not.
Because I've heard of the Idle Pinwheel, and it's an absolute dive, right?
It is. It's an absolute dive. So the Idle Pinwheel is this bar in a place called Scrun Row, which is in like the really, really low class part of Svelin on the shady side of town. And we know and we also hear that Hector might be there. So think about us. Adventuring party.
Yep.
Who look quite fancy.
Yep.
Shady side of town dealings. What do we decide to do in between? I'll tell you the goal of what we were trying to do, and then
disguises?
Ahead.
Did you buy bad clothes?
We tried to. Where do you think we tried to buy those from?
Oh no, is this like an established thing that we've come back to? Wait, who do you buy bad clothes from? Did you just approach people on the street?
No, we went to a shop. Whose shop did we go to?
Was this Adonis?
Yes. This is the
Adonis
very first time. Adonis owns a thrift store. So we asked him, where can we find a thrift store with like the grubby clothes that we could go and try and blend in a bit more in Scrun Row. And Tim created a thrift store for us, and thus Adonis was born. Also, I got for Lore Club out there, based on Queen Thealia's name is Queen Thealia Nornala. Queen Thealia Nornala. So that's her name. Tim had it in his notes. Thank you, Tim. So we go to Adonis's store, and we buy a bunch of knickknacks. And this is the first time we meet him, and we chat, and he's a delight, and he outfits us with a bunch of common clothes so that we can fit in like the blue-skinned tiefling is going to fit in anywhere. So we go over to the shady side of town, to the Idle Pinwheel, and we go inside the bar. And there's something inside the bar that tips us off that there's likely something secret underneath the bar. What was off?
Oh, this is a class. Is it fucking, there's a carpet on the ground and someone had kicked it over a little bit and you see just like the teeniest bit of like the trap door?
No, but it is something with the floor.
Ooh, all right. I took my shot. Yanis, what was over that floor?
Did it sound hollow when you walked on it? Like in certain places, but not others?
No.
Oh, fucking weird floor. Yanis, how do you discover a floor is weird? You can't. It's not. You don't see a trapdoor under a carpet.
Did you hear something coming from the floor?
You heard people underneath the floor.
We did not, but we saw that the floor was slanted. The floor of the bar was slanted, and it didn't look like there was something underneath. So we go outside, and we go around to the back of the bar, and we find a secret door that was very small. We knock on the door, because that's what we were doing at the time, and we hear from the inside Hector Turnbuckle. So Hector,
you know that guy?
Yeah, the guy we were looking for. So we talk to Hector, and he notifies us that he's actually a spy for Queen Thealia, and he's tracking down this rebel group that we're also on the hunt for, and they're known as the Rune Children. The Rune Children, yes. He believes their boss is a man named Silas Winters, who has an underground holdup in the base of a shop called the Quill and Iron on the edge of the middle class part of town, in Princetown. So we set about to investigate. And that is the end of those 2 sessions. And that was where we left it. So in this session, we meet General Mergen Riza. We meet Kamea. We meet Neva. We meet Adonis. We find Hector eventually. This is great. So our next one that we play is episode 4 and 5, or session 4 and 5 again. My notes are pretty sparse on these, so I have squooshed them together.
Scoozy.
I have squooshed them together. And these sessions are called the Night of the Rune Children, happening on March 11th and April 26th.
Wait, I just want to cycle back. I just want to establish a pattern of Tin's DMing now that we can see it.
Yes.
Zoomed out. Because he gave you, there are rumors of bad water, but take care of this thing first.
Yes.
He was setting up way down the line,
yes.
but take care of this thing first.
Mm-hmm.
Just as we move forward in our exploration of chatwater, like, keep this in mind. Let's
Tim Carlson does.
Yeah. But let's start recognizing it so that we can apply it to like the episodes that like our lives right now. And we won't get quite so blindsided and like torn apart.
Tim is one of the kings, like one of the best DMs I have seen with dropping little bits and us being like, oh, we want to go do that thing, but then you're giving us this other thing that seems way more important that we have to do first, and then we're going to do this thing, and then we got to go over this thing. So I love the crumbs. I love the breadcrumbs.
So children of the rune.
The rune children, yes.
Rune children, yes.
So we manage to speak to General Riza on the way out of, like, we see them off as they head back with Neva and Kamea as they start heading back towards Wolfreen. And Riza has also heard about the calamity in Silen, and as an envoy of like under now business of Wolfreen, basically being like, can you go take a look at what's happening there and go help out? Everard seems to trust you, and we're trying to set up good diplomatic relations. So, once you're done here with this stuff that's going on in town, why don't you head on over to Silen and then report? Because Nepi had sending at the time, so so Riza was like, report back to me and let me know. And we were like, great. And she wants us to gain a deeper understanding of what happened. So she discusses also that the people of Silen had worried that they'd angered the sea. It was a very superstitious town.
Cool.
And a lot of the fisher folk and townsfolk had been drowned. Like, essentially the tidal wave was so big that it had come up over the land and just pulled things in the water, and it was just over and over again, and it just wiped the entire town out. And of this small fishing village, like 30 people made it out and had made it to Svelin. So wanting to make sure, and then after their talks, the Ashet, and then those three head over to. They leave town and start making their way back to Wolfreen. So that's kind of like on the docket for afterwards. So then we go over to the Quill and Iron, which is this bar or this shop that we hear that Silas Winters, the head of the Rune Children, is at. What do you think we do?
Destroy his livelihood. That's what we do with cultists.
I mean, yes, it has been established that that's what we do with cultists, but we haven't. We were like, okay, we have to investigate. We're a serious party now. We investigate.
Oh, that's right. It's not a one shot anymore.
It's not a one shot anymore. We're a serious party now. So what do we do?
Oh, you fucking masqueraded somebody. You're in your common clothes. You could be anybody. You go in and you're like, man, I got all these children. I sure wish I could teach them about runes, but where would I do that?
So we're looking for clues as to like what is going on with this place, and we break into this underground cellar that is below the bar.
You just break in?
Yes, we do. And as this is occurring, like, we get inside, we get into this kind of first chamber room, and there is like skeletons. There's like a whole bunch of stuff that's going on down here. It's dusty, it's dank. It doesn't look like people have been in here for a while, but there's a really bad smell coming from the far side of this underground chamber. So as this is happening, we look behind us, and it's like later evening at this point, and these streets have just suddenly broke out in a riot. And there are people fighting, and there are a bunch of people coming around with they're shooting beams of energy out of their hands from symbols that look like eyes on their hands, which we believe to be the Rune Children.
Oh, that checks out.
So we go down, we manage to make our way down into the basement, and much to our surprise, what do we find down there?
The smelly thing.
The smelly thing.
What is the smelly thing?
The owner of the bar?
Yeah, I feel like it's a person. I feel like it's
a person, dead person.
I've given you a clue already. Energy shooting from runes that look like eyes in their hands. what
It's a
was in the basement.
beholder?
It was a beholder. So there was
What?
Yes, there was a beholder in the basement of this bar who had been, his name was Zamluck the Charmer, and he had been essentially gifting these people, like branding them with this power. They touched one of his eyes and they got this rune on their hand and they could shoot energy beams out of it. And so he had wanted to take over the town. And so we fought a beholder at level 6 or level 5 or 6. There was 8 of us. We fought a beholder in a basement.
Okay, there's 8 of you. Okay,
yeah.
all right.
So, and this huge fight ensues. While we end up slaying a beholder, something happens to Neppy. What happens?
I feel like I've heard of something like that. You petrified.
Neppy
You
was
got
completely turned to stone.
petrified.
Yes, she was petrified. So she is completely petrified in the basement, and it's like, and the party was like, she's the one person who can break petrification. Because like I had saved someone from petrification in that fight, and they were like, oh shit, our cleric has now been lost to petrification. We also find something else in that basement. So we're like examining. Zamluck is dead. There's muck and goo everywhere. What do we find in that basement?
No, but are you still petrified, or did they?
I am. What did they find
Okay.
in that basement? They investigated. What did they find? It is something that you are not going to believe came from this place in this basement. What did they find?
So this is something that's still relevant.
It was relevant.
It was relevant.
Like
What?
really relevant.
The fuck?
Something that was a seal.
No, not to do with the seals. Not to do with the Velsu mark.
Is it one of Kokane's 2 shirts?
No, it was not one of his 2 shirts. I am so sorry. It was.
What the fuck? I don't know. I literally got nothing. I
Cersei?
No.
No.
The bad bag of golding is in that basement.
Oh.
Yeah, Tim Carlson. Sprinkle in the motherfucking crumbs. Like,
that's wild. So like session 4
yeah,
to like, what did you say? We're on session 178 or whatever?
We're on session 120.
100. So like session 4 drops a thing and that only gets resolved
in session 110.
session later is unbelievable.
Yes.
That's fucking wild.
Isn't that fucking wild?
Crazy.
So we find the money hole bag in the basement. So this group of 7 adventurers with their petrified cleric take Neppy in her fully petrified form. They carry her up the stairs out of this basement. And they're like the rioting has stopped because the powers are done. The guards are now winning and they're arresting all the rune children. So what do they do with Neppy?
Oh God,
they install her as a statue out at the water fountain.
They talked about just leaving her.
That's so funny. I feel like they
I thought
probably
you said they didn't do shenanigans because
that was the start. We were a serious party. Nobody was strong.
I feel like you
Callie wasn't there yet.
Like, can you do something about this, or did you like not? Whereas they're like, oh, she's a cleric. Well, you, the third person, second person, you, second person plural, you, right. You people.
Yes. Us people.
Yeah. Did you take
him to Adonis?
Not to Adonis.
No, he wasn't magical yet.
We didn't know he was magical yet. We just knew that his shop was weird.
What NPC do you know who could fix this?
Or where do we know that can potentially fix this?
The Church of Moradin.
Yes.
Temple of Moradin.
The Temple of Moradin, that's correct. So they cart Neppy over to the Temple of Moradin, and begrudgingly, but as a thanks for Neppy offering her healing services before, the High Priestess unpetrifies her.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
So once this is all done, Neppy is granted movement of her body again. They didn't chip anything. It was a delight. And I'm just sitting there in the session being like, oh my God, please don't chip her. Please don't chip her. Please don't break her.
Like, I've just started to play her. If they chipped
I really like her. Please don't.
You could, so if someone's petrified, you could just like graffiti in like
tattoos.
Yeah. And then I guess they just have like divots out of their body left when you like.
That's terrifying.
Carve your name in there.
Do you think it would bleed, or would it like?
Oh.
It would be
Would you,
would it be an
Like if you
open
break
wound when you
someone's
came
arm
back?
off,
yeah.
they're like armless, and there's probably like.
Yeah, but when they come back, is it just like flesh covered
I
already,
have
or is
no
it
idea.
broken and just like spurts? So now
I
you got
have
another
no idea.
problem.
We've never encountered that, and I hope we never do.
Well, now I'm curious.
We are once
We're gonna
again
have to
then
petrify someone.
granted an audience in front of King Evard. He thanks us for our service, and as
Wait a second. Let's scale this back.
yes,
Let's say when you alter the petrified version of them, it doesn't just bleed and stuff. Let's say it comes back healed. You could theoretically have a magical service in which we petrify you, give your statue to a trained sculptor, and essentially do magical plastic surgery.
oh, I hate
Like,
that.
oh, we don't love this. We don't love what's going on here. We can just file that down.
We'll fix that.
Oh, is that a little crooked? Oh, we can just like we can't add anything. We can only take things away.
We'll chisel some abs into your stomach.
The only thing that's gonna work on that.
You don't crack the whole thing. It's subtle. It's subtle. You're just taking. You're sucking in the cheeks a little bit.
Can you imagine the first time you're like, oh, you don't like this? We'll take that out. So you turn them, you petrify them, you turn it back. There's just a hole. Oh, damn lights.
Yeah, it just went straight through. So we're once again granted in the interest of time, I'm going to keep going. We're once again gifted. We're once again granted an audience with King Evard. He thanks us for our assistance, and he gifts us something. What does he gift us?
Oh no, Yanis, back me up. What do you get from King Evard? That's super significant. I know that name. It's come up a few times.
Yes.
You get something that you still have to this day.
We don't actually. We don't have it to this day.
Oh, was that the? No, that wasn't Adonis. The immovable rod. That was Adonis.
That was from Adonis's shop, but not. You're doing very well today. I'm proud of you.
I know. I'm not even making jokes. I just want to be right because I feel like I've heard enough of these things are sort of thrown around in the ether. Fucking, what did King? Okay, Yanis, plug in. Yanis, you haven't missed anything. What did King Evard gift them? They don't have it anymore, but it was like while they were streaming,
and it was
referenced.
Big gift.
It was a big gift. Oh, I know what it is. They gave you guys a place there that you never went to or lived in.
They gave us a house, a manor, and basically said it's kind of old and run down, but there's an architect who's quite accomplished, and he will fix it up for you.
What have we done with that place?
Here's the thing. We'll talk.
Is it still around?
Chatwater will get there. It's not ours anymore. It's not ours anymore.
I don't know why I remember that, but I very specifically remember you guys being like, "Oh, we had a place there once."
Yes, we did have a place there once, but it's not ours anymore, and with good reason. It's totally okay. So the architect's name was Deacon, and he is going to fix it up after some of the damage that was sustained during the riots. We're granted lodgings at the Gilded Inn overnight. Before we depart to Selene in the morning. I see your eyes because Neppy literally just mentioned the Gilded Inn in the last session, and we're getting there. So the next morning, we get on a boat, or we're gonna get on a boat to depart for Selene, and King Evard gifts us says this ship will sail you around. It's the fastest way to get to Selene. You'll get there in a day. You'll get there in under. A date, it'll take 6 hours for you to sail there or whatever.
Quick, fast.
Quick, fast. And says, I have an extra hand who's looking for someone to travel with. And she's done some work around the city. Meet Calliope Okeanos. So this is where we meet Callie for the first time, which is very exciting. So
she was just like, sup,
she's like,
I'm coming along.
I'm Callie. Yeah. And Callie just looks big and strong and is wearing some badass armor and has a holy symbol of Melora. And we're like, sick. Cool. We need some muscle. Let's go.
Yeah, get in this boat.
So we're actually now on the last session of the early days arc. So that's great. We've actually covered the whole arc in one session, which is what I had anticipated. So that night... No, this is fine. The element of chaos.
Quick.
No.
So I stuck over the motion sensing thing for the light. I stuck one of the hand kissing stickers.
Oh,
because it's the only piece. It's the only thing I had. So I don't know if it's gonna work. Probably not. Who knows?
No, well, that's how I found out that the ghosts weren't a real thing. I covered up what I thought was the sensor, and it never worked again.
So the early days arc was a grand total of 5.5 sessions. put it that way. So this is a
Half
very
session.
yes, and I'll
You
explain.
guys are
I'm
like
getting
midway
there.
through this session. You guys are like, we're
I'm
done
getting
now.
there. I'm getting there. So then, however, the next arc that we're going to talk about, which is the Elemental Chaos arc, is 20 sessions long. So we have some, and there's a lot of meaty lore to get into in that one. So that will take us some time. So what happens next is that night that we're at the Gilded Inn, Neppy gets visited in a dream. Who does she get? And this was my birthday session on.
Oh, so Adonis pops in and he's
Yes.
like, "I'm a ghost." Or
He's like,
something.
Neppy, I need your
Baby.
Neppy, I need your help.
Okay, this was the one where like he lost his coat, or was he kidnapped? He was
This
kidnapped,
is the one
right?
he was kidnapped. That's correct. That he's been
Okay.
trapped in his freaky mansion, and I need your help, Neppy.
Yeah.
And they had just started calling her Neppy at that point. So, yeah, and and she's like, "What? Like, okay, I barely know you, but." He's like, I've brought some of your friends to help Neppy, but you're gonna have to break them out. I can only do so much. And I'm like, this was my birthday session in 2018. So I had said to Tim, I want to play D&D for my birthday, and there was some other people, so like who I wanted to come play who were from like the campaign that had Saren in it. There were some that had the campaign from Drew, my warlock in it, and a bunch of other things. So I was just like, Tim was like, well, what if you played all your characters? And I was like, what do you mean, what if I played all my characters? He's like, we'll figure it out. You just make sure all your characters are ready to go. Nice. Every character that you've ever played so far up to this point is ready to go. Because I had done some one-shots with some other characters, and I was like, okay. I'll have these ready to go. So he transports her to his freaky mansion, and he asks her his freaky mansion, and
freaky mansion,
and he asks her a bunch of questions. There's a bunch of people that she recognizes that are in like these glass chambers, and she has to answer like skill testing questions about them to break them out. And there are people there that Neppy doesn't recognize.
But Emma does.
And this is how he introduces the mechanic. So Neppy is basically like, I don't know who these people are. I can't break them out. So he gives her
like, feel it, Neppy.
And he gives her a ring, and he says, what did he say? It was just like, tap into the other people that you're connected to, Neppy. And so that's when Tim was like, as a bonus action, you can change into your other characters. So I recognized who was from each campaign. So I had to change into that character and then answer the skill testing question to break that person out, because that person would have the knowledge. So
very
Neppy,
cool.
It was very cool. So Neppy has a ring in which there are 5 souls at this point. So if I rolled on a d6, and if I rolled 6, I could basically pick any one that I wanted. Or it was like something magical happened. I never rolled a 6. So I could access Saren, who's my half-elf rogue, Drusilia, my Eladrin warlock, Seish, my Water Genasi Horizon Walker ranger, Pal, my human totem warrior barbarian, and Arthalai, my Goliath barbarian. So there was like these characters that I could, and I switched through. Kokanee was there, Spooky was there, as well as a gnome ranger named Nyx, who's friends with Drew, as well as her bear, Alfred. Zome, who is a tiefling druid, who Saren knew, and also Fridge, a human barbarian that Saren also knew. So it was very
more
very
about
fun.
Fridge. We like Fridge.
Fridge
Can we hear more about Fridge?
Fridge was a human barbarian who had a 3 intelligence, so was almost
What? You can't roll that low. Did they get hit by something?
I think there was a bunch of
He
shit
just
that
lied.
happened.
He just lied about it. He's like, I rolled a 3.
And so he was like an
I mean,
almost
technically,
non-verbal.
you can roll that low. If you roll 4 1s,
yeah,
you can.
I think it was a 4-1.
Wolf is smarter.
Yes.
Than Fridge.
Yeah, Fridge barely had like intelligible communication. It was great. It was a friend of Tim's and mine who was playing it, so it was very fun.
Oh my god! Okay, yeah.
So Neppy Neppy and all of my characters had to get these characters out, and we managed to get everyone. And the party had to make their way through a series of trapped rooms, and they chased an imp around. This little tiny fire imp who was trying to like taunting them and leading them through the house. You won't know his name, so I'm not going to even make you guess unless you would like to try and guess what his name is. No.
Fire.
Stimpy.
Fernie Sanders.
No. His name was Crisp, and he talked like this, and his name was Crisp. He was great until we finally get to the main ballroom, and we find Adonis in his full angel form, because we learn Adonis is an angel, and we're like, what the fuck? Like, Adonis is an angel? How did you get trapped in here, dude? And he's chained to the wall in like these like shackles that he can't get out of, and he's like, Neppy, you've got to save me. He's trapped me here. And then Crisp transforms into something. What does he transform into?
Oh, did he transform into an incubus?
No.
Was my man freaky?
Shakrasa?
Rakshasa?
That one.
No.
No, I prefer Shakrasa.
We were like levels 4 to 6 at this point.
Crisp? What does Crisp turn into? Little fire demon? Just like a big, beautiful flaming horse.
The flames are close. You're closer with flames, but not a horse.
He doesn't turn into Baron von Kron,
no,
does he?
No, he does not.
A Balrog.
No, I wish a Balrog, but that's terrifying.
What's on fire?
Not on fire, but can use fire.
A dragon?
A big red dragon, yes.
A big red dragon?
A very large red dragon. Not an ancient one, but definitely an adult red dragon in Adonis's ballroom.
A dragon that can like vote, drink, and drive,
Sorry?
but not at the same time.
No, you told me he was a red dragon. Okay, then he was a black. Apparently I'm... Oh, uh-huh. Okay.
He was black and red.
Oh,
Striped dragon.
He was a black dragon, apparently. I thought I'm getting fact checked. Thank you, Tim. Because Tim had a black dragon mini, and that's why we used it at the time, because we had just started our miniature collection at this point. So the party narrowly defeats the dragon. The dragon kills 2 of the party members, kills Nyx, the gnome rogue. Like, one shot kills her, but her bear, Alfred, ends up getting the kill.
Nice, vengeance.
Yes. So Adonis, we like unchain him from the wall, and I cannot be fired from Lore Club. C.S. Graham, I started Lore Club. Nobody can fire me from Lore Club. So Adonis thanks
temporary suspension.
Yes.
No
Adonis thanks the party and allows her to keep the ring for her aid, saying it'll help her in times of need. But has to return her and the rest of her party to where they were, scattered across the multiverse. And I think he drops the line at some point saying, "Fucking around with the multiverse, Neppy, and I got myself into a bit of trouble." Like, he's talking about fucking around with the multiverse from session like 5.5. Like, already talking about multiverse stuff. And then we all had to roll wisdom saving throws. And none of us rolled a natural 20, so none of us remembered what happened. Except Neppy woke up the next day with the ring of the multiverse on her finger, feeling like she'd had it her entire life.
Ooh, mystery, mystery, mystery.
And that is the end of the early days arc, with us sailing off to Sil N to investigate the calamity that happened there.
Wow.
Exciting stuff.
Gee whiz.
I know.
And then it's just all elementals from there.
All elemental chaos for the next like 20 odd sessions.
Oh.
Yeah. Buckle up, boys.
Okay.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy going through like the first sessions and seeing like how early so much of this stuff was introduced.
I know, right?
It's pretty wild.
I know. Because we have a couple, 1 or 2 minutes here, chat, if you have any questions about the early days arc that you'd like to get answered, now is the time.
We don't answer questions. We don't answer questions.
I'm willing to take a question or 2.
No,
my goodness.
No.
All right. Just because you guys have been good. Because you guys
No. Okay, so this is
as a treat. We'll answer questions.
No. As a treat, we will answer questions. But when I say we, Sean and I will answer the question. Em is not allowed to answer the question. So
Okay, that's fair.
you're not getting anything valuable.
Yeah.
But you will get an answer.
Wonderful. Okay, so
Yeah.
Ferrex19 is asking, of what you've learned tonight, what's one of the your favorite things that's happened up in this little arc?
Obviously ruining that whole baker's family's livelihood. Like, that's so good.
Yeah, I like fucking merciless
Early
Neppy,
Neppy?
who was like, let's just fucking burn the bodies.
That's what we
No
do.
big.
I was like, well, we
I
don't have
just
the grove here.
No
We have to burn them.
reverence. No reverence.
Honestly,
I
though,
feel
that's like
like
true reverence because she's like, I don't want these to come back. I don't know what other shit these cultists are into. We're burning them.
I feel like that town, honestly, they're like, we've lost our baker, we've lost our mayor, we've lost everybody. Like, maybe it would have just been better for us all to be werewolves in solidarity. Like,
Werewolves aren't so bad.
We lost what's his nuts who lives in the woods. Did you hear about what's his nuts?
Didn't see that coming.
Hurts. We all remember where we were when we heard about like Woodsman Gray getting axed by those randos
Varys,
who just
the
came
druid.
through town. Varys, our town druid, got murked by those people who fucking cooked Baker.
They killed the only guy who could heal people. They killed the only baker in town. Like, the mayor is dead.
Ooh.
Yeah, they basically did a coup. They like took out all the things. They're like, you're left to your own devices. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
The daughter of the mayor was like, oh, they're doing all the fucking work for me.
Yeah.
Okay, another good question that I don't have. Let me see if I have it.
Don't need it.
I don't need it. But we're asking if we can get a cliff notes of the fight with the beholder in the basement. Boys, what happened in that fight?
Oh, I mean, there's 8 of you. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of shit happening.
What are some standout moments in that fight? What do you think happened?
Okay, I'm gonna talk about the 3 that I know. You're level 6 at this point.
5 or 6, yeah, somewhere there.
Ooh, Oh, you don't have haste yet.
I can tell you one I know for sure. I know for sure is Beholder petrifies someone. The entire group who are fairly new D&D players go, fuck, can any of us fix this? And everyone frantically looks at their notes and Em goes, don't worry, Neppy can fix this. And she fixes it. And then she gets petrified and everyone goes, oh, we've just established she's the only one who can fix this.
Yes,
guaranteed
that's exactly
that happened.
It did. They were like,
petrified? Can you fix petrified? Yes, you can do it. It's a lesser restoration. Who has lesser restoration? Oh, I have lesser restoration. You're petrified. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Spooky dropped a fireball because Spooky has always loved dropping fireballs.
She did.
She'll drop them at the drop of a hat.
She did drop a stinky fireball that smelled like methane gas in there because it was so stinky and slimy. Yes, that did happen in there.
Would that have cured the stinky smell?
I don't remember.
You lit a really big match in the stinky room.
I'd like to think it did. It cured the stinky
smell. I bet Kokanee swung his sword at it.
So many sword swings. There was a lot of action surging that was happening.
Although if he's not a cleric, he doesn't have his bonus action attack yet. So he gets like
action surge.
Yeah, so he gets 4 swings. Yes. The Kokanee we know and love these days gets 6.
Yes.
And if he's hasted, he gets like 8. It's awesome.
Yes.
It's all the turns.
It's
there were no guns yet, so that's
there were no
lame.
guns. Nobody had discovered guns yet. Guns were a thing of the chatwater. We'll get there. Anything else that happened in that fight?
What's Neppy doing? Is she just like
Neppy's healing? Neppy's doing lots of healing in that fight.
Neppy's
dropping mad heals. Yeah, dropping mad heals in that fight. Yeah. There was a lot of cure wounds that was happening. Early
was it like
days, Neppy was a lot of healing.
Was it described as like an old beholder, or he'd given away a lot of his powers to the people, so he wasn't at full?
No, he was thriving because he was living off of their power. Oh, is Sean frozen? Did we lose Sean?
Sean is frozen, but a great face.
He's back.
He's back.
Hey, all right. I was sitting very still, so I was like, is this just like you are the motion capture light and like you've been duped by my stillness? Not the case.
Yeah, so Neppy was dropping mad heals.
I thought you were frozen.
No.
Just my joke landed flat. Okay, good.
Sorry, can we get another take on that?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to relive it.
Good Fork is asking, I think they're asking, and I'm going to ask you one more time, what is the name of the Queen of Wolfreen at this time period? And you have to say it together.
Oh, jeez. I don't remember Jolene Serafina
The
Wolfreen.
Queen of Wolfreen.
Primea.
Oh, God.
That's all I remember.
It's a th. It's a th.
It is a th.
Thalasi. Thalestro.
Tetricate?
Queen
Thrustrami. Queen
Queen
Thrustrami.
Thealia
Queen
Nornala.
Thealia.
Thealia, Primea,
Nornala,
Jolene
Primea,
Seraphine of Wolfreen.
The Wolfreen Queen.
The Wolfreen Queen Primea.
God.
What a great question. Who asked that question?
Thank you, Good Fork.
Listen,
Good
Good
Fork?
Fork, don't be checking up on our attention
No.
during the chatwater.
Do it.
Good Fork gets the Chatwater Gold Star for asking my favorite question of the night. Because, like, asking something that we already got the answer to, knowing we're gonna fuck it up, is comedy gold.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it when the people who watch embarrass me on my own show. It's fantastic.
But yeah.
We should answer more questions on this show. I'm enjoying it. Our policy
Sean's
of never
sold. He's
answering
been
questions.
converted.
It's a
Good
delight.
Fork. Good job.
We love you. We love you, Chad. Thank you very much. And I think
Okay, wait. New rule. You're asking questions. You can only ask questions that are gonna fuck me and Yanis up. You can't ask
That's
any
pretty
educationally
fucking
valid
easy.
questions. You have to try and dupe me and Yanis. New rule for questions.
That's not hard, Sean.
Yeah, I know, but it's a lot more fun. Like, what's my favorite? I could wax poetic about that, but fuck you, Sean. I want an adversarial relationship with Chad. That's what I want.
You've always wanted an adversarial relationship with Chad. Like, let's make that very clear.
Everybody loves a heel, Emma. Like, this is the thing of this show. I'm the heel. You're the whatever the good heel is. What is the wrestling?
This analogy's falling apart with you only knowing the one.
I know what I do.
I don't know what you guys'
star.
purposes are, but I know mine.
I'm here to be problem. To make problems.
Make problems, and I'm here to try and keep the both of you corralled.
Yeah, you're the hero.
Thank you,
Emma.
so
You're
much.
the hero of this story. You know that, right?
I love that.
This is your show. We're
also
just the antagonists.
We're also getting a pitch that there should just be one chatwater where Yanis and Sean have to answer audience questions, and that's
only if they're trying to fuck us up. Like,
yeah, I think that's the premise. I think that's the premise.
Okay, quiz time. Okay,
Quiz time.
yeah. So Emma is like going through and like picking which are the most devious audience questions.
Absolutely.
You know what that'll be? Oh fuck, that is the fucking like season 1 roundup when we've gotten all the way to currently do all the things, and then we just have the Chatwater test.
Yes.
And we have
Finals.
to keep score of how we do.
It's called Quizwater. Like, apparently, Chat's already named it.
Quizwater.
When we write our owlbears.
Yes.
I love that.
I love it too.
That.
We'll make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Chad is great. We love this.
We love this.
Sean, you've come full 180 on
full
Chad
circle.
since like 5 minutes ago.
I trust Chad implicitly. Like.
Chat's also identified that they are the void, and that they will.
This is why we don't let Sean out, because strangers can easily lure him home because he trusts very quickly.
There's a lot of truth to that, actually. It's a real problem.
And I mean, that's all I got tonight for the early days arc, and I can, probably next Chatwater we will start diving into the elemental chaos arc, and we'll just kind of start jumping in and with those 22 sessions that we're gonna get through. What a treat. But that's it.
Place your bets now. How many sessions of Chatwater do you think is going to take us to get through 20 sessions of Lore Dense Arc?
Lore Dense Arc. It's great.
All right. Fuck yeah. Love it. Love you. Love you, chat. Good job.
What else do we have on the go this week, friends?
Frostland's Fenrilic coming up on Thursday. Wednesday, nothing. But
take Wednesday off, guys.
Take Wednesday off.
You guys are allowed to take Wednesday off.
Smell the flowers. Thursday, the finale to Frostlands of Fenrilic. Saturday, good old-fashioned Blackwater. Back at it again. Let's go deal with some retrievers, or more realistically, go across some ice and bad things will break out of it.
Yes.
Yeah, I foresee a travel episode of a lot of like giant fighting and maybe ice worms and
maybe the Ocklets will come back. Those orca dogs.
Here's my pitch.
Pitch it.
Can we do
Montage it.
sending to that big thing that Spooky made friends with briefly and like convince it to be a sled dog?
It's so far away from us.
Is it?
Yeah.
Was that pre-teleportation?
That was like
No.
we trekked. Like we saw it and then
Maybe it's around. Maybe it's around. It's big. It walks where it wants. Anyways, that's actionable and at the table.
You know what? Just teleport and roll that dice. See
it
what
has
happens.
been described to me.
Has it?
We've got a 1 in 4 chance.
There you go.
Of making it there
roll that
safely.
Dice.
I don't like
Roll
those
that
odds.
dice.
Well, no.
Roll that
Limerick
dice.
definitely talked about it with us because we spent a whole night talking about him and his lady. So, like, you cannot tell me that place has not been described to letters. But
I mean, you might have to convince Tim. Probably.
I don't have
Roll
to
that
convince
dice.
nobody. I'll just roll that dice.
Roll those bones. All right, you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys next Monday, but check in on Thursday and Saturday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.